The night has come, it's cold and losing my control. Your light is gone, and lonely darkness fill my soul. I wish that you could save me from my isolation. It's way too complicated. Let's stop this conversation.
Actually, I've been fucked with.
Yeah. They've been off there.
Let's see if I can get this to focus. Alright, I don't know if you guys, that's fuel shut off solenoid. Huh. And then there's the actual fuel shut off solenoid hookup right there. If you ask me, that would cause an intermittent running issue. But that's just my 2 cents.
Alright guys, so we are back with the next episode with the dually, or the next video, whatever you would like to call them. I'll have this thing on its own playlist, obviously. So we've got our new starter put in down here. And I went ahead and hooked all the cables back up and just bumped the key, and it cranks like it's supposed to now. So I went ahead and pulled off our throttle linkage right here. It's just the 213s and the 10 mil down low, and was addressing our fuel shut off solenoid nut. So I got a nut, which happens the trigger wire on the starter, that's the same nut, so I just kept the old one off the starter. What I'm noticing is these little spade connectors, and you guys will notice this too, over time they just get really loose. This one stays on there fine, but this one will literally slide on and off and not have any sort of tension on it at all, like it will just rattle off. It's kind of hard to see with all the lighting, but what I have done in the past is just get a pair of needle, slide this back off of here, get a pair of needle nose and crimp it down a little bit and stick it back on. So I'm going to do that, and then we'll probably crack injector lines and try and bleed this thing. I don't know if the plunger on the lift pump doesn't seem to be doing anything, so lift pump might still be the problem, but I do think fuel shut off solenoid is a bad problem of its intermittent running that it had going on. So also, it was overcast this morning about an hour ago, and now it's hotter than crap. So I don't know how long I'm gonna last with the shirt and everything on, because it's gonna get hot, but but I'm gonna crimp down these connectors and then we're gonna try and start it. I just wanted to kind of keep you guys in the loop of where we're at today. Excited.
Inside?
Huh?
You show them inside?
Oh no, I'm keeping that for, I filmed that last night. So we just filled up at the gas station. It only had like 3 gallons of fuel in it, so put some hot shots in it and filled it up. I'm gonna let Andy drive it on the way home. Just get a feel for it. It's so much different experience than the blue truck. Like, it is quiet in here. It does have timing in it, but it's quiet. You can't feel near as many vibrations. But the brake pedal was super weird. But
I can tell the steering's tighter than the blue truck.
yeah, steering's tighter than the blue truck. It doesn't even have a Borgeson shaft on it. Like, it's...
The rag joint looked to be in a really good shape.
Yeah. The 2-wheel drive thing's going on for sure, but no, this is just a different experience in general. Definitely some things that could be changed, but once we figure out the brakes, I think we'll be good. But the speedometer does not work, so therefore overdrive does not work. But we're only like a mile from the house, and it's all 45-mile-an-hour speed limit. So feels like a 518.
Can't even feel the shifts.
Yeah. Yeah, I was say that's steering wise, it's really not bad. Brute, what do you think, buddy? Huh? I think he approves of the new shit box. Like the brakes go down a ways and then they just get kind of hard and it stops, but there's something goofy going on for sure. I'm not sure what I think about it.
The faster you press the pedal, the harder the brakes apply.
Yeah. So it's in third by probably, what, 25? Pretty quick. TV lever is like the linkage is all messed up, so that doesn't help at all either. So there's obviously trans things, 518 things going on that are very iffy in the first place.
Trans feels good. I think it's really just TV cable.
Yeah. A good TV cable adjustment, adjust the bands, throw some different fluid in it. Probably be good to drive around for a good while. But as far as I don't know. The needle sits low for it to be actually charging, but I checked it with the multimeter and it was charging before we left. I don't know, that was that's our maiden voyage. We didn't have to go very far, obviously.
A total of what, 8 lug nuts?
Yeah, we have like no lug nuts on this thing, so we really didn't want to get up and go at all anyway. We just want to get fuel in it, kind of take it down the road, see what we thought, but pretty solid if you ask me. What do you think, Brute? Not too bad. Jackson stayed here in case we needed a rescue, so. Approved. Andy, your thoughts? Pretty solid.
It's a $5,000 version. I don't know what more you can ask for.
Yeah, can't ask for much, so. Alright, hateful. Better. Okay, so a learning lesson here. I like the that checks out big time. Alright guys, so obviously me and Andy have taken the truck for a drive a little bit. We went and got some food. And I got all the way into it, and I mean, I don't know, I've been in a lot of stock trucks, and they even seem to have a little bit more pickup to it. You can tell by where the pump's at, it is, I mean, the timing's absolutely bumped. But we were assuming with no added fuel, the fuel screw, the tamper-proof cap is off of it, so it's been messed with. It looks like it's been ran in some. And I don't know, I just felt like it should have more pickup than that. It's making like 10 psi of boost, which obviously you bump timing and that usually lowers boost, makes it more efficient, but if there's no added fuel behind that, you're not doing yourself any favors. So we're like, oh, let's pull the pump top, see what the settings are like, see if it has a fuel pin, and it does. So what is kind of surprising is they took the plastic shim off of here, but they put the fuel pin in there in the incorrect position. So you can see the scribe mark right on the back. I don't know if it'll focus. Did you get it?
Yeah.
So right, based off that, you can tell where the fuel pin is riding. So basically, whenever they set the fuel pin in, they set it in there with the curve face towards the firewall, and that is incorrect. That's actually 180 out. So it should be set like that, and at one point in time, it does look like it was set in there correctly. There's a very, very small scribe on there. But right now it wasn't, and even back then, it was not getting enough travel to get to the deepest part of the pin. I will say, I still will be getting a pin from Evan. I don't know, this kind of looks like either a Hungry Diesel pin or maybe a Bully Dog pin. It's really hard to tell. It looks like somebody's ground on it a little bit because there's some porosity in the face of the pin itself, but we'll still be grabbing one from Evan. But essentially all I'm going to do here, I might run the star wheel down a little bit to see if it will get to full travel, but it might not even need that. Now that it's actually going to get more fuel to make more boost to push the diaphragm down further, it might not need the AFC settings adjusted yet. So like I say in my other videos, dialing in the pump is a lengthy process. It's not just you throw it together and go and never touch it again. I mean, you need to throw it together, go for a test drive, come back, see where the slide pin's riding on the pin, and repeat that process a couple times to make sure that you're getting full travel of the fuel pin. So I'm going to throw this back in there the correct way, and I'll put it back on, and maybe here in a little bit after I look at a couple other things, we'll go for a ride and see how much better it feels, if any, and then see if it gets to the deeper part of the pin. So, and if you have a brand new pin, a little hack that pretty much everybody would know is take a Sharpie and color the whole pin so you can see very easily after just one drive where the pin's riding. Obviously this one, it's going to be fairly obvious, but we'll run a little marker over that. But that'll just help you kind of figure out what's going on in there. It's got some, that ain't bad. Now the only bad part about the freaking TPS is every time you take the AFC top off, you gotta almost reset it or mess with it. Eventually, that'll probably be the next thing I do once overdrive works, is set the TPS up right. My voltmeter out and nope. I guess I should probably set up the linkage first. So if you guys do this, make sure that whenever you do it, you double check that. Alright, see, it fell in there. Make sure your TPS sits down in there. If you take your pump top off and all of a sudden your trans starts doing weird things and shifting into overdrive weird, or won't shift into overdrive, it's probably because the TPS wasn't set down in there right, or we put it back together. And this very well might not be. I had to move the linkage a little bit and it dropped down in there, but yeah, I'm gonna have to really persuade this fucking. The only bad thing about a stock AFC line with bump timing. So if you guys are tired of messing with that, turns out Mr. Evan has a solution for you. It's just an air fitting. It goes right into the same spot. It's officially getting warmer.
Mm-hmm.
that. Literally fixing just somebody that, I don't know, it's not that he didn't know what he was doing, I just didn't realize what he did. And fixed that one issue, and we picked up right at probably 16, 17 pounds of boost. Like, it's making close to what my blue truck made boost-wise on stock. I don't know. Obviously, 518s always feel like a rubber band, but going from a stop, like, it picks up pretty well. That really wasn't bad. Versus before, it was not so good. So, like I said before, now we're going to pull the AFC top back off and take a look and see where the fuel pin is getting to, see if it's getting to full fuel. Based off that, I would have to assume it's getting to full fuel, unless this thing has different turbine housing on it and I don't know about it, which I don't think that's the case. It really does look like a 21 cm. It might not be, I don't know. We'll look at it a little bit closer and see, but yeah, that's not bad. She gets out of her own way now, so 5-minute fix right there. All right. So after our little endeavor there, you guys saw much more peppy. Fuel line's in the way. Okay, so maybe kind of hard to see. If you tap on the screen, it'll focus. Well, it should. Does it just look black?
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys. Well, it's getting to like right here, so that's really pretty solid. You'd probably get a little bit further, maybe.
It looks like it goes up into the curve.
Say that's pretty good right there. So obviously there's a lot of low end left there, and you can do with that what you can do, what you will with that. Obviously, if you have an injector in it, you could utilize that bottom half to be a lot cleaner. This being stock injectors, from what I can tell, that will probably work. I don't think I'm going to spend much more time on that, but there is more to be desired there, but you really can't complain, I don't think. So I don't know, I'm pretty curious what this turbine housing is. It just looks a little off. I think I've got some 21 cm housings at home in Lamar, so I might take pictures of those and compare them, but that one just looks a little bit odd to me compared to those. So I don't really know what's going on there. Obviously the front half is 100% factory, like it looks like a little 54mm H1C, so I just don't know if they changed turbine housings because it wasn't peppy enough, or I mean, they're never that peppy. This one doesn't feel super laggy, but again, I do not know. Once it cools off, I might try and get eyes on the back half, because there's a bunch of obviously part numbers and stuff on there, and we have the ability to see that stuff. So like that will do it for the AFC adjusting. I'm not going to go crazy until we're obviously trying to do more with it, because I really would like to do comparisons that are more stock for you guys, because it's more relatable, and then go to a fuel pin and see how much it picks up and things like that. So I think now I'm going to double check if it's charging, just because it sits lower on the dash than my blue truck, so a little bit confused there, but it might be fine. I'm probably exaggerating. So the only things we've seen is it's leaking from the front cover, and a lot of the bolts were loose, so Andy tightened some of those up. And I mean, obviously whenever I get home, I'm gonna grab a front main for it. I need to grab a belt for it because it's trying to separate, and we'll do probably do a KDP deal and pull the front cover and all that good stuff. So we'll video that for you, something that most of these trucks do need. So fixed some of the leaks so far. The rest of it doesn't look like it's leaking a ton. Obviously I think the rear main is still dripping, but we'll get to that whenever we do a trans. So alright guys, so after that last clip, I believe you guys saw the fuel pin stuff, fixed the headlight adjuster, and we went ahead and pulled out the gooseneck ball and the drop-in bed liner, plastic liner thing. And I took out the spare tire mount that was being held up by a ratchet strap. But I tried power washing a lot of this, but I mean, it is flawless. It looks great. The blue truck's bed is all dented and caved in and stuff, but this one is really nice. Up by the cab, there's a little dent that's pushing it forward towards the cab, but we're gonna pull that out a little bit. Yeah, pretty stoked. Really, this thing is in good shape. It just needed cleaned up. So eventually I'm gonna kind of probably take a wash mitt to the bed and clean it up better, but I guess bye for the time being. Looks like it could rain, but working on cutting this stuff up into pieces so we can get it all loaded up in a bed and thrown out or something. Get rid of it and try and pawn this off on somebody, because this goes through the freaking frame rails top and bottom, so that's definitely a reason why it never came out. But I'd rather have a B&W in it. It's more low profile. But I think that is where we're gonna wrap it up on the dually for the weekend, or as far as video goes. I went and washed it at the car wash, blasted all the clear coat off of it that I could, so we'll be able to buff it, hopefully. And then hopefully I've got some wheels lined up for this thing. I've got a lead, and they should match the blue truck. I found a set of Weld Sidewinder dually wheels, so I have an itch that needs scratched, and we're gonna see if it looks worth a crap or not. If it doesn't, then oh well. But that is going to wrap it up for this video on the new dually. So if you guys like it, go ahead and drop some comments, drop a like, and until next time, I will see you guys on the Old School Crew. Peace out.